Hello, this is Learning Module 4, The Mechanics of Writing. In addition to writing correctly, mechanics of constructing phrases, sentences, and paragraphs involves the use of punctuation. In this module, the focus is on specific use of punctuation, capitalization, italics, and numbers. For more detailed information, please refer to Section 4 of the APA Manual. During the completion of Module 4, the student should be able to discuss the use of punctuation when writing in APA style, discuss when words in titles and headings are capitalized, describe the use of italics in APA style, and describe when to use numerals and words to indicate numbers in APA style. More information about the use of the comma is found in Section 4.03 of the APA Manual. The comma was invented to help keep parts of the sentence from jumbling together. There are rules for using commas and rules for when commas are not used. Commas are used before coordinating conjunctions that connect two or more independent clauses. There are 7 coordinating conjunctions, and they are and, but, or, nor, for, so, and yet. For example, German shepherds can be gentle guide dogs, comma, or they can be fierce attack dogs. If each independent clause contains a noun and a verb, use a comma to separate them. Use a comma between each element in a series when there are 3 or more elements present. I went to the grocery store and bought milk, comma, eggs, comma, and flour. Use commas to separate the publication year in a parenthetical reference citation in text, and the example shows pickerel, comma, 2014. Do not use commas to separate parts of measurements. For example, the child was 6 years, 8 months, and 4 days old. You would not use a comma to separate each of those measurements. Do not use commas before an essential or restrictive clause. For example, campers need clothes that are warm and durable. In this case, the essential clause is warm and durable, and you would not use a comma between the two words. More detailed information about the use of parentheses is found in Section 4.09. Use parentheses to set off references in text. In the first example, you can see Miller and Jones, and the publication year is in parentheses, and that's in reference to an article written by Miller and Jones. Do not use parentheses back to back, and the second and third examples are examples of the correct and incorrect way to cite a reference or cite information in a paper where you might have each one separated, but when they're that close together you would not separate them and use 2 separate parentheses. More information about capitalization is located in Section 4.15. Capitalize major words in titles and headings within the body of a paper. And the first example shows a book written by Stephen Oates called Clara Barton, A Woman of Valor. In this case, all of the major words would be capitalized. Capitalize nouns followed by numbers or letters, and the second example shows this in Chapter 5 of the APA Manual. Because chapter is followed by the number 5, it would be capitalized. Do not capitalize titles of books and articles in the reference list. Only the first word of the title, the first word after a colon or a dash, and proper nouns are capitalized. If you go back to the first example, you can see where all of the words are capitalized. But because this is in a references list, only the proper name, Claire Barton, and the first word after a colon are capitalized. Do not capitalize names of conditions or groups in an experiment. And the example here shows participants were assigned to preoperative teaching or no preoperative teaching groups, so the name of the group would not be capitalized. More information about italics is found in section 4.21 of the APA manual. Italics are used when there are new terms introduced in the text, as in the first example, for a letter, word, or phrase that is a linguistic example, such as the second example, or to anchor a scale. And the scale here is the 5-point scale, so you would italicize that. Do not use italics to emphasize text. Even though we know that students should read their textbooks prior to class, we want to emphasize that, but APA does not permit you to use the italics to emphasize the word should. More about numbers is located in sections 4.31 and 4.32. Use numerals to express numbers 10 and above and numbers that represent time, dates, ages, scores, and points on a scale, and exact sums of money. And as you can see in these examples, the numbers are used. Any number below 10 would be written out. Use numbers expressed in words for any number that begins a sentence, a title, or a text heading, common fractions, and approximations of numbers of days, months, and years, and for any number under 10. Which of the following is the correct use of punctuation in APA style? A. Height, comma, weight, and depth. B. Oates, 2011, page 42 within parentheses. C. Children were between 2 years, comma, 6 months and 4 years, comma, 6 months. Or D. Theories are based on concepts, constructs, and models. And the correct answer is D. Theories are based on concepts, comma, constructs, comma, and models. Anytime you have 3 or more elements in a series, each element should be separated by a comma. Thank you for listening to this module, and I hope you've gained some information about punctuation.